Welcome to W&L Sports Weekly. I'm Kevin Finch. This week we will visit with head wrestling coach Nathan Shearer and senior men's basketball player Tevin Panchal. But we start with a look back at some recent results for W&L athletics. Men's and women's track and field opened their indoor seasons at the Bast Kreger Invitational at Roanoke, where W&L produced several fine individual performances, including a pair of new school records. Men's basketball went 1-1 overall, falling to Lynchburg and defeating Randolph. Women's basketball won both of its games during the week, defeating Shenandoah and Guilford. Men's soccer saw its remarkable season come to a close with a 2-1 overtime loss to eventual champion Connecticut College in the NCAA semifinals. And finally, wrestling finished 4th out of 12 teams at the ultra-competitive New Standard Invitational in York, Pennsylvania. Joining me now is the head coach of the wrestling team, Nathan Shearer. Nathan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks, Kevin.
Glad to have you here. It's a break time, almost break time here at W&L, so it's a good opportunity to stop and do a checkup on your team's season so far. How do you assess things, especially in light of your team's performance at that New Standard Invitational? What do you think? What do you grade yourself?
No, we're off to a great start. We're 3-0 in dual meet competition up to this point. We have another match opportunity tonight to wrestle to improve to 4-0 heading into the break. So that's good. We've had a win over the number 24th ranked team in the country a few weeks ago in a dual meet. And we had a pair of runner-up finishes at Washington and Jefferson Invitational and Messiah Invitational. And then most recently at the New Standard Invitational, we had a 4th place finish. So, I mean, I think we're going to the break. I feel really good and right where I think we need to be and really happy overall team. And then just a bunch of individual great performances so far. So. Very pleased, very happy.
It's good to hear. Let's go big picture a little bit. Get your take on the state of your program overall and the talent and depth that you have on this year's roster.
It's been saving us. We've had like every team, we have whether it's a flu, a sickness, an injury. I'm not sure we've had our best lineup out there yet, and we've had other guys. We've had everybody kind of plugging in, filling holes and things like that, and maybe some positions aren't exactly squared away of who the guy will be, but along the way we've just performed really well. So I think the depth and skill and talent that we have with the team has allowed us to position ourselves going into break with just one maybe so far maybe the best season ever as far as first semester results go.
So with that sounds like a good framework. What are your expectations going into the conference season?
Conference season, I mean, obviously we won in 2019, and we want to win again. But realistic or not, I'm not sure. We care so much about the reality of situations all the time. I think we have a really good team that will position whatever version of ourselves will be ready to go at the conference, regional, and ultimately we're training for the March tournament at the national championships.
Amazing statistic I want to run by you here. For 6 years in a row, your team has improved its finish in the regionals over the previous year. Growth every time. In the last time we had the regional 2 years ago, you placed 2nd. So that's the big question then. How realistic is a regional championship this time?
It's kind of that's a tough question, but I would say how realistic? Yeah, it's realistic. I think we do a really good job of not just Alex and I coaching them, but the team themselves is sometimes we don't care about the reality or if something can or can't happen. We have a lot of accomplishments and successes that we want to obtain, and winning the regional championship is obviously one of those. And getting guys on the podium in March is another one of those. We have guys that want to win individual national titles. Mm-hmm. We have those on our team. So once we know where we want to go, that's how everything is laid out, our practice schedule, our planning, our periodization. And we get to a point when we compete, the idea is we just have to execute in the moment. But everything will lead to that we can win the conference, win the regional, and get guys on the podium in March.
Great. Well, Nathan, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Now joining me is Tevin Panchal, a senior basketball player from Belmont, California. Welcome, Tevin.
Thanks for having me.
Glad to do it. How would you assess the season so far? You're 3-4 as you head into the break. You've got a tournament that you're going to coming up soon, and then a hosting after that. But right now, as you are right now, 3-4, how do you think things are going?
Definitely not the start that we envisioned or hoped for with 4 games in the loss column, but it's definitely something that we're looking to improve upon. We have 3 games where, we've lost within a possession of the game at 2 to 3 points. So I think our biggest point of emphasis right now is just closing games, making free throws down the stretch, not turning the ball over, rebounding. And I think once we fix those little things, we're going to be really hard to beat. So I think our biggest things right now is improve and, keep growing from those 3 wins and take the things from those 4 losses and turn them into positives throughout the rest of the season.
So W&L basketball teams of the past stay in touch, and someday that's going to be you too. And some recent players were here last weekend to get the send-off that they missed because of the pandemic. What kind of effect did their presence have on you guys, especially since you won?
Definitely. I think it was a big factor. Their presence is felt throughout the whole gym. Those 3 guys, Austin Lee, Curtis Mitchell, William Brueggemann, didn't get to finish the season the way they wanted to, the way that we all wanted to last year. So all we were able to do that day is go out and get a win for them. I think that the biggest part of W&L basketball is the relationships we make and the relationships that kind of carry over after you graduate. And I think, I can't wait to be a part of that, and also seeing all those guys in the gym bringing back that energy from 4, 5, 6 years ago, coming back and supporting us onto that win was a big time thing for the program.
Good. And how does that conference victory, as you head into that break, how's that affecting the team psyche right now?
I think it's definitely positively affecting us. Every ODAC game is a big game, especially at this point in the season. Getting that first one under our belt is huge for us. We fell to a very good Lynchburg team and picked up a good win against a good Randolph team. So I think we just look to improve upon that as we head into this Catholic tournament, and then after that head into ODAC play and try to make some noise.
So you're talking about it's Catholic University is having this tournament?
Yes, sir.
All right. Personal question for you now. How did someone from the Bay Area end up in Lexington, Virginia?
Definitely. So my prep year, my biggest focus was focusing on high academic D3s. So I was looking at the NESCAC and UAA and a lot of those schools, and then W&L called me. I didn't really know a lot about it being from the Bay Area, but I started looking into it. My parents were telling me how good of a school it was. I came on a visit, and I fell in love with the school, loved the coaching staff, loved the guys in the team, and that was a big factor to me, choosing to come to one of the best schools in the country while also playing for a great program.
Okay, well, mystery solved on that one. So thanks for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
W&L has 1 contest remaining before the holiday break, as wrestling will host Southern Virginia this evening. Looking back, the Generals have enjoyed a tremendous fall season, which saw W&L's teams and individual athletes set numerous school records while achieving 4 conference championships. And our fall was highlighted by the men's soccer team's trip to the NCAA Final Four last weekend. We know there are remarkable accomplishments and highlights still to come during the 2021-22 season, and we look forward to what is to come. In the meantime, as we head into the break, all of us associated with the W&L Sports Weekly would like to wish you and yours a happy and safe holiday season. For W&L Sports Weekly, I'm Kevin Finch. Thanks for watching.